Good morning, Steve Gladys at the George Mason Enterprise Center for Steve Gladys Leadership Partners. We're talking about the book Positive Leadership, the Game Changer at Work. And so far we've talked about the three areas that the research sort of fell in when I did the research. One was get social in your networks. We talked a lot about that before, about how your family and your friends and your associates at work, including your boss, your peers, and your direct reports, how you had to have those strong relationships to be resilient. The second thing you need to do is you need to get strong at work. You need to get strong at work. And what do we mean by that? We mean that people who work in their areas of strength on a day-to-day basis tend to be the happiest people at work. So if you're working on a regular basis at work, and what does that mean? Well, we use Pareto's law, which is 80-20, that if you work about 80% of the time in areas that are your strengths and only 20% at your weaknesses, you tend to have a really positive relationship with your work. And we spend so much time at work. I mean, people are spending 8 and 10 hours a day at work. In some places even more than that. If you're not spending it in a positive zone, it really is a drudgery for you. So 80-20 is the rule. And then one day I was in my office. I was doing some executive coaching with the CEO of a really large international company, and she would head the U.S. division. And I mentioned the statistics, this 80-20 statistic, and she said to me, well, I have the 80-20 rule going for me. And I said, well, great. And she said, no, it's the opposite. I'm at the job. Most of what I do, I hate. And then I knew that she was there to find a new job. It was clear to me that was why she was at it. And she had come in for coaching, and she now is doing a job she really likes and is very happy and is no longer the CEO of an organization, of that particular organization. So this idea of 80-20 is really important. So how do you find out what you're good at? I mean, some people know that innately, but there are some ways to find that out. We talk about some of the various ways in the book. You can take a Myers-Briggs type indicator, what's called the MBTI. That's one way of helping you kind of figure out your personality and what you might want to gravitate toward. Another kind of self-help test is what's called DISC. DISC will tell you whether you're dominant or you're an influencer or what kinds of things, and also will lead you into the kinds of jobs that you will. There's a Strong Campbell. There's all kinds of instruments that are out there. If you don't know the instruments yourself, go to a local university. George Mason's a great place, or any university near you, and ask to talk to their counseling department. Oftentimes they'll give you those tests for a nominal fee, and you can actually find out what you're good at. Because working at what you're good at really makes a difference. And it was an interesting study. Before I talk about the study, understand that if you can't always work in your strength areas all the time, try to work in your strengths to your job. So for example, if you're a good writer but your job doesn't call for you to write, maybe volunteer to write for the company newsletter. Those sorts of things, integrating your strengths into your work, can make a big difference. There was an interesting study done by a researcher at Yale who looked at people, the way people looked at their work, and some people look at their work as a job. These people look at the clock, and when it gets late in the day, they feel like they're just drudging through the day. Time just lags. Other people look at it as a career. They look at the calendar, not so much at the clock. But finally, the people who are really happy at work look at work as like a calling, i.e., something that they would do if they had enough money. They'd do for free. So working at what you're strong at makes a huge difference at work. This has been Steve Gladys talking about positive leadership, the game changer at work. Thanks very much, and hope to see you back here for the final episodes. Thanks.